2 years in a row now, an anime has arrived to amount to some crazy hype, and for good reason too. Both Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online both deserve a lot of praise. They both exercise great plot and story design, and they're both just so visually stunning. I mean, Sword Art Online creates these absolutely beautiful scenes. I mean, just look at how much beauty this anime... Well, Attack on Titan has some pretty beautiful stuff as well. I mean, just look at the scene. It's so beautifully done, you could make it look like anything. Elegant spring rain, beautiful Christmas snow, flock of flying vaginas. Anyway, let's talk about these two anime. What both these anime have in common is their elements of plot. They both like to shock you with good plot twists, and not to mention frequent character deaths. Now, while both anime have this element of psychological horror, if you will, AOT's genre is mostly based around that one element, but SAO combines that genre with romance. Yeah, romance and psychological horror. What kind of combo is that? Because my money's on oxymoronic. Because the guys who made it were morons? Okay, cannot wait. Moving on! Anyway, you probably already know where I'm going with this video due to the second half of one of these shows, and, well, you know what, when I do these videos, I like to give interesting opinions that are different and unique, and holy fucking nipple nations, what the hell is that? Are those fucking tentacle monsters? You put tentacle monsters. You put tentacle porn in my SAO. I fucking love this show! Anyway, discounting some elements of the second season, the match comes a lot closer than you might think. People like to diss Sword Art Online like it's a piece of laughable shell of rubbish, but in the end, if something's popular, it's usually because it has nice ass, good plot. I've seen a lot of reviews pass off nitpicks in SAO as actual problems, and it's silly because all animes have these stupid nitpicks, even AOT. Like this guy, who in his spare time becomes a wind turtle. On top of that, characters must have eyes in the back of the head because no one ever runs into a tree despite doing this. Anyway, now that we've pushed aside some nitpicks, let's get to the real comparison on the major positives and negatives. Now, the major appeal of both AOT and SAO is in the elements of psychological horror. Now, I think of it though, psychological horror might not be the right word, but both anime have an appeal and a strong plot with many good plot twists, and takes its pride in shocking its audience with numerous character deaths. Now, by itself, AOT probably has a stronger plot. There are just a lot more significant turns within the first arc. From the first attack after 100 years, to the death of Eren, to that one hidden plot point the audience was supposed to work out, where someone stuck signs on the back of all the minor characters reading, "I taste delicious." Now, while SAO does have a lot of good plot elements, it's definitely not as many as AOT. In fact, there's a couple of episodes in the middle of the first arc of SAO that are barely plot related at all. On top of this, Attack on Titan has this really unique trait in the way that you're not as much on the edge of your seat wondering who's going to die next, as you were just wondering if they were going to accomplish their current goal. Constantly, AOT will fake you into thinking characters are about to succeed, only to throw a monkey wrench in and make everything seem for naught. It's hell is engaging, but there's this slight downside, and sometimes you come out of an episode feeling that nothing was really achieved. This is especially noticeable in the first female Titan arc, and that one episode where Eren does the whole slapstick routine where he tries to swat a fly in his face. And this definitely isn't helped by some of AOT's bad pacing, but bear with me here. Guess I better run. Get it? Get it? I'm still getting shot for that. Now, while AOT does have some very strong plot elements, it's worth knowing that SAO has much stronger characters. See, in Attack on Titan, a lot of the time I found myself losing track of who is who. Maybe it's just me, but I could only ever keep track of the characters when I watched it for a second time. I mean, the only people I had a solid memory of in the first run was Armin, Mikasa, and Eren, because they're of course the main characters. Sasha Blouse, because she has a gorgeously quirky introduction scene that was purely about her. Oh, and also Pixis, because he has a mustache. How does that help me remember him over tons of other characters, most with more development? Well, it's a pretty cool mustache. Anyway, I think characters are weaker in AOT because too much of the dialogue revolved around the Titans, how to kill them, how they affected everything, and so on. Because of this, there wasn't very much time devoted to humanizing the characters and making them seem more endearing. There only seemed to be like 3 scenes to do this throughout the entire show, but I'll show you one of them so you know what I mean about humanizing characters. See, now SAO is much better at this. You grow a lot more attached to the characters because they get their time to just be themselves, and a lot of the time the humanization is worked extremely smoothly into the plot. The particular example that comes to mind is in episode 6, where Asuna gives Kirito a sandwich out of kindness, and it's all sweet and says something romantic about their developing relationship, and Kirito's all like, "Shit dog, I'm gonna drop this on the ground." And then that leads smoothly into the next plot point of the story, which is a very nice way of balancing plot and character. In fact, episode 3, which is the Sachi episode if you're wondering, and the last 4 episodes of SAO's first arc really hit that strong balance between character and plot, in a way that AOT simply doesn't have. Yeah, I bet you all came to this video expecting me to kick SAO to the curb. Nope. I mean, say what you want about the second arc, but the first arc of SAO is popular for a reason. There's quite a few elements in which it matches and even beats AOT. However, as said before, AOT does have stronger and more plot points, so this kind of arises in the same situation as in Death Note vs. Code Geass, where one side has more plot, but the other has less plot and more character. And while I could debatably say that SAO has more character and plot combined, since AOT is so focused on its plot, while you might not be saying, this is an overall good show, like you would with SAO, you instead find moments in AOT that are like, oh my god, this one moment is awesome! In a way, I think this is debatably better because the entertainment took you to a new height that a jack of all trades just can't manage. Reflecting on my thoughts, I think that's how I feel about the same comparison in Death Note vs. Code Geass. You don't need to get interested in that versus and click on that link, by the way. It's seriously no big deal, don't worry about it. It just cures world poverty, saves baby pandas, and fights for intergalactic planetary rights. Asshole. See, now that would be a point to AOT if it wasn't for one thing. The fact both these shows like to kill characters. And character deaths are far more effective if you care about the ones who die. A lot of the deaths in AOT come with a certain shock like, holy shit, I thought that character was going somewhere. Wait, stop, I know something hilarious in post-editing. I said I thought that character was going somewhere? I was actually right, he was going somewhere. That way.